Hi and welcome to this DCP web tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a WordPress website using Elementor Cloud. In order to build a website using WordPress, there's a few key elements that we need. We need website hosting, we need WordPress, and we also need a website builder. So these three key elements are included inside Elementor Cloud. So you don't need to go and set up hosting, set up WordPress, and set up the website builder separately. Elementor Cloud contains all of these three core elements, which makes your life a lot easier. We also need a domain name. So my website address is 𝗬𝗓𝗏.co.uk. So I'm going to show you how to register a domain name and then connect that domain name to your new website. We also need some images and we need some text content. So I'm going to show you how to add your logo, how to add images, how to manipulate the website to make it your own, right? Suitable for your business. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part of this tutorial. Okay, in order to access Elementor Cloud, go ahead and click on the link in the YouTube description here. Okay, after you click on the link in the YouTube description, it will take you through to the Elementor website. So I'm going to go ahead and click on pricing at the top here, and as default we're going to see the website builder and hosting option here. This is the cloud solution by Elementor, so it provides you with website hosting and the website builder combined together. This is much more cost effective than purchasing hosting somewhere else and purchasing the builder through Elementor and then trying to install WordPress and get everything up and running. You get everything in one single place, which is just more cost effective and easier to get your website up and running. If we scroll down a little bit, you can see there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So after 30 days or before 30 days, if you're not happy with anything, you can always get a refund. But I think it's a very cost effective solution at only $99 a year, right? So it's only $99 US a year, which is roughly around £80. Okay, to start the process of setting up Elementor Cloud, go ahead and click on the Buy Now button here. And then fill out all of your details. You'll see the checkout process here, and it's going to ask you to fill out all your information, put in your payment details, and then go ahead and click the Pay Now button once you've completed the steps. Okay, after you've completed your payment, you'll be redirected to this page here, and you can go ahead and click on the Start Creating Your Website button. Okay, so in this first step, it's asking for my website name is. So it's asking us for what is going to be the website name. So you can type any website name, something suitable that represents your business. I'm going to type in DCP Web Tech. That's what I'm going to do, DCP Web Tech. And I'm going to go ahead and click the Next button. So on this step, it's showing us what our domain name is going to be. It says this is the default address visitors will use to reach your website. You can purchase and add a custom domain later. So we're actually going to go and do that. But temporarily, while we're building our website, or if we haven't registered a domain name yet, we can actually use this particular website address just to view and manipulate the website until we're ready to make it live. As default, the website is not made live, right, until you've finished it, which makes sense. So we can use this URL temporarily to view our website, and then we can connect a custom domain at a later stage, and I'm going to show you how to do that. For now, we should really copy this text, just copy this website URL and just paste it into a little notepad file somewhere so you've got reference for it so you can access your website more effectively. Let's go ahead and click the Next button, and in this step it's asking us what type of website are we trying to create. So we're trying to create a portfolio, a blog, an online store, or a corporate business website. I'm going to select the corporate business website and go ahead and click the Next button. Now, depending on what type of website you selected in the previous step, we selected corporate business. It's going to run these filters across the top here. You can see these different filters. Now, if you don't like these particular sites or you don't like the design of them, you can access way more different templates as well. To do that, just go ahead and click Clear Filters here, clear them. And you'll see all the different templates. So Elementor has lots of different templates for lots of different types of businesses. You've got ones for like technology conference, you've got design portfolio, hiking, lots of different ones, right? And the ones that say shop on them, they're not really suitable for sort of a standard business website. So if you scroll down, you see like merchandise shop, that's really suitable for something like WooCommerce if you want to build an online store. So we can select one of these templates. There's lots of different options here, and just go ahead and click on one that you think is suitable. So if you're running a law firm, this one might be suitable. If you're running an interior design firm, you might want to select this one. In order to see the template before you select it, you can roll your mouse over it. So let's say this one, for example, and we can click on what's inside here, this button right here. When we click on it, it gives us a preview of the website, and we can see it in tablet and mobile view, and we can scroll down and see what the content looks like. And this one looks pretty good, but if you don't like that particular template, you can always go back to all website kits here, and when you click here, it will take you back to all of the different selection and different options, right? So I'm going to go ahead and find one that I think is going to be suitable for this particular tutorial. My website domain is DCP Web Tech, right? So it's about technology, or it's about really web development. So it would kind of make sense maybe that I select this particular digital marketing agency. That's what I really do as a business. So it would make sense that I select this one. So you can go ahead and click what's inside, and you can just preview it one more time. Just make sure you're happy with like the design. You can see the navigation, but remember, I'm going to show you how to add more pages later, and manipulate the logo and change pictures and stuff and text throughout the website. So I'm going to go ahead and click start with this kit here. So you'll be presented with this page here, and Elementor is currently installing all of the relevant assets and plugins that you need in order to get your website up and running. So you can see it's on step 2 or 4. So this will take a little bit of time, maybe 60 seconds or so, in order to get all of the different elements installed into your WordPress website, set it all up for you so that you don't have to go ahead and do all of those tasks manually yourself. So it's almost done, right? It says it's adding your website kit to the site. It's step 4. So we just wait a few more seconds. Hopefully we should see the WordPress dashboard where we can access the actual WordPress website. Okay, once the process setup is completed, you should see a screen that looks like this, and it will say, ta-da, your website is ready. Check your email for details about signing in, and it says let's go here. So remember, it takes about 2 or 3 minutes in order to set up all of the process, so just be aware of that. And let's go ahead and click let's go button here. So here it's saying that we can access the WordPress dashboard, we can edit with Elementor, and we can manage our website here. So these are the core assets, and we're just going to click got it here, and we can roll over here and access those particular elements. Managing the site, this is where we can connect our domain and so forth, edit with Elementor, or access the WordPress dashboard. We're going to go ahead and click on open WordPress dashboard here. So when we click that, that will actually get us into the WordPress admin control panel, which is what we want to access in order to start manipulating our website, right? So you've got lots of useful information in here, but let's go ahead and just click on DCP Web Tech here, and click visit site here. You can see visit site. You can see our website is up and running. We need to add a logo, but as we scroll down the page, we can see all the different assets and the different pieces of content that we can manipulate. And this is like a nice little sort of starter website for a website design company or a social media company. You could probably set something up this quite easily, and the goal is to have this pre-built, right? So we've got about us, we've got like services pages, we've got clients, we've got contact information, and if we click on contact, you can see that it's got the information here. We've got a nice little form that customers can fill out. We've got our opening details. So I'm going to show you how to manipulate the content on these different pages, change the pictures, change the text, where these buttons might go, and update the web pages to suit your business, right? So depending on the theme that you selected, you may need to just change the pictures according to the type of business that you have, or the text content that's relevant for your business. Okay, to make our lives a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and click on this tab here. We don't really need this one. I'm going to leave the Elementor website where the control panel and the access information is here. And we've got this tab here. This is where we can view the website. We want to open up one more tab and have access to the admin control panel. Now, really want to open that in a new tab. So I'm going to go ahead and hover over the DCP Web Tech here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say open link in new tab. So I'm going to open it in a new tab. That way we can access the dashboard here for WordPress, but we can also view our website here. Normally I drag this one to the left and have the dashboard on the right hand side or the left side, and have the main website running on the right side. So we can just flick between these two. If we need to access the dashboard or if we need to access the main website, we can just click between these two tabs without having to reload the page, separately. This just makes life a lot more easier. Okay, at present we're on the home page of the website, and I want to show you how you can go ahead and edit the text content on this page. You can follow these instructions to edit any of the text content on the page. There's a button up here called Edit with Elementor, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. and it will open up the editor using the Elementor tools. So just give it a few seconds and you can see that it's loaded. So you've got loads of different tools down the side here that we can drag and drop into Elementor in order to add more content. But for now, let's just focus on editing the text content. So right now it says go beyond your wildest dreams. You can click on that and you can type in your new text here, or you can select it within the actual browser window here and you can type in some new information. So I might just type in something like London Web Designers, right? That's what my company is. It's a London Web Design company. And you can go ahead and click on the next set of text, and in this case you can select this text and type it, or you can type it directly in here. So we could type something like London's #1 web development company, right? Something simple like that, London's #1 development company. And underneath you might want to type something else. Here you can see the HTML tag, default H1 tag. So every single page that you build throughout your website should always have a H1 tag, and then you have other H tags. There's other ones like H2, H3, H4. This is good for search engine optimization, but try to get your keyword like web development company inside of the H1 tag. So if you're running a bakery, you might do, you know, East London's best bakery, for example. You want to try and get East London and bakery, the word bakery, in your H1 tag. Then you've got this little strap line down here, and I might write something like building websites for over 16 years. I've been in business for 17 years in fact, but we just type that in for now. So you can see how easy it is to manipulate text content on the page. You can just click on things and just type in whatever text that you want. You can go ahead and select text here, and you can go to style and you can change the text color. So you can click on edit the color here, or you can click on this little swatch here, or you can select one of the default colors, right, like accent. You can change it to blue. These are like the default colors. When you click on here, you can see like the secondary, primary, default, and the white element. These are like the default colors. We might select white text or whatever sort of text color that you want to select, right? So now it's white. You can see if we select it again and go to style and click here, we can make it red. We can make it any color that we want. Whatever color you choose, you can choose that, right? You can just click the sliders to manipulate the colors. So we'll go back to custom and we just select white here, just the default sort of white color. So using that same logic, you can scroll down the page and you can edit all of this text here. And I'm going to show you how to change the pictures and change the button text and where they link to in a moment. But you can just go ahead and select any of these text elements and type in your relevant content. Because the page has already been built and it has good structure already, it's quite easy for you to go and type up some content in a Word document for each one of these sections. You can just go ahead and cut and paste it directly into the website, right? So it's just a nice easy way to manipulate the website. Okay, so let's show you how to add new content to the web page. Let's just say you wanted to add a video, or you wanted to add some more content, something different. When you scroll down the page, or if you look at the top here, there's a little plus button, right? So it says add section. So we don't really want to add anything above, we want to add something below. So this is an anchor here. So when we click this about us button, if we click on this anchor, it says about here. And if we click on this little button here, it tells us that it's going to go to the about link here. So even if we click on it right now, can you see it scrolls to this point here? Right, so I'll show you maybe how to do anchors a little bit later, but for now I just want to show you how to add maybe a video or another piece of content. So we can go ahead and click on this little plus button here. It says add section. So when we click on that, you can see it says drag a widget here, or drag some content here. So we can click on this little button up here, and this gives us access to all the different types of things that we can add to the website using Elementor, right? So there's lots of different options, lots of different elements that we can add. We can add audio, we can add SoundCloud, we can add videos from YouTube. There's lots of different pieces of content that we can add. So let's say we want to add a video. All we simply do is drag and drop a video, or drag and drop the video element into Elementor here. So when we drag and drop it, we can see it says choose your video. You know, we have to give it a URL, and you can see the spacing is quite close here. So I'm going to show you how to manipulate the spacing quickly. So let's go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel, and I've got this little video uploaded. It's called how to change your WordPress admin URL for for WordPress, how to change the admin URL. So I'm going to go ahead and click share. When I click share, I'm going to copy this little link here, and we'll go back to Elementor. And Elementor is quite intuitive. So you can see, look, the source, is it YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or self-hosted? It's from YouTube, and then it's asking us to put the link here. So I'm going to go ahead and select all this text, delete it, and then paste in this YouTube link that I just copied, right? And you can see that you can set a specific start time, you can set a specific end time, you can set it to autoplay, you can have it muted, you can have the video looping, you've got some player controls, you can turn them on and off if you don't want people to like stop and start the video. You can do lots of other different things like set privacy mode, and you can lazy load it as well, so it only loads when it gets to a certain point in the page, right? So when you scroll down, it can lazy load as well and do lots of other stuff. And you can go ahead and click on style, you can set the aspect ratio, you can do lots of different things, and you can manipulate the height or the padding above, right? So you can see this video sits, it almost overlaps this image here, and if you didn't want that overlap, how would we fix that? We can click on the actual element itself, so this video, and we can go to advanced and we can add margin. Now as default, when you add margin, it's going to add it to all the margins, so it's going to add it to the top, the left, the right and the bottom. But we're going to click on this little icon here, and this allows us to separate the linking, and then we can manipulate the margin separately. So we can just left mouse click and drag, and we can say, okay, we want, I don't know, let's say 50 pixels or 40 pixels, for example. So there's a bit of a gap here now, right? So once you're happy with that video and you want to display that particular video, you can go ahead and click the update button, update. Okay, so right now we're still in the editor, and if you want to preview your changes, you want to actually see what the web page looks like, right? Because you can see the page here, you can see it quite effectively. But if you want to see the actual website live, you could say, or preview that page, you can go ahead and click on this little icon. It says preview changes, and when we click on that, it will open up the page, and you can see now that we've got our text content and we've got this little gap here, right, on the video, some little spacing here. We can go ahead and play the video just like this, and we've got the little YouTube video embedded, and you can go ahead and add maybe a video here if you wanted to. You could add one here if you wanted to, just by dragging and dropping the elements within Elementor itself. Let's go ahead and close this window, and you can see there's lots of other options in here. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and click on this video content here, and we just want to let's just pause this a second. We're just going to click on this delete section, right? Delete it. So we can get rid of the video, and if we click on the little plus sign here, we can add another element. So you can add headings, right? So if you want to add a text heading, you can add images, you can add a button, you can add spaces, you can add dividers, you can do galleries, image galleries, you can build a portfolio. There's lots of different types of content. You can even do like animated headlines, so you can drag and drop that, and it says like, this page is amazing. You can click on it, and you can go to content. You can change the text. So you might write something like, let's say, for example, my website company might write web developers, or let's just do web developers, right? And then instead of amazing, we might write London here. Then it will kind of highlight London, and you can set like different durations. You can do loads of different things. You can even paste the link. You can go to style. You can set the width of the content. You can change the color of that element, so we can change it to a darker color. The actual sort of the circle, maybe make it red, right? It will stand out much more like red, right? You can play around with it. You can go to advanced. You can set the margins. You can do like motion effects. You can do lots of different things. You can fade it in, you can fade it out. You can have it sliding from the left and right. So let's just go ahead and click update, and we'll preview it one more time. Let's click preview here, and as we scroll down the page, you can see like it slides in, and you've got the little circle thing. You can write more content underneath. So I'm just showing you some basic examples of how to edit content in Elementor, especially add more content. So let's go ahead and click the delete button here, and you can go ahead and drag. So wherever you get to a section, remember, like when you roll over, this blue line represents a section. This is also a section. Then you've got another section up here. You can see they're all broken down. So when we build websites, we build them into different sections. It makes sense, and then we can add content above or below the section, or within the content area itself as well. Okay, so when we build websites, we want to be able to see the website in different views, for desktop, for tablet and mobile, because we need to make sure everything fits correctly. When you use the website kits, everything should fit quite seamlessly. So when you import one of these templates, it's already been pre-built for those devices, but to check it, you can go ahead and click on this button, responsive mode. And when you click that, you'll get this little bar at the top, and you can click on tablet. You can see what does a website look like typically on a tablet device, and you can click mobile as well. You can see what does that website look like on a particular mobile device, right? You can go ahead and click on desktop again and see it in desktop. You can also manipulate the the size here, right? Like the percentages here of the different sizes, like zoom in and out. You just click the refresh button to refresh it. To remove that, you can click the X button here to close it, or you can go ahead and click on this tool here again, responsive, to close it as well. Just go ahead and click the X button. Okay, so at the top here we have an About Us button, and when we click on that, it scrolls down the page to this About Us section here, because it's actually going to this anchor point here. But what if we wanted to change that and maybe go to a different page, like view our services, or maybe take it to the actual About Us page? So let's say we want to take it to the About Us page, or let's say the Contact page would be a better example. So we want it to go to the Contact Us page. So in order to do that, let's click on this button. And when we click on it, we'll see all the information in here. So the first thing we want to do is change the text. So we're going to set it to Contact Us, because that's where we want it to, well, that's the label for the button. And in here it's got the link. So if we go ahead and click on, in fact, if we select this text and start typing contact, you can see that all the different options in here show, and we want to select it. We want to go to a page called Contact Us. So let's go ahead and click that, and then it will set the URL, the correct link for the Contact Us page. Then you can change the button size. You can set it to like small, large. You can change the alignment, right? You can set it to the right hand side, the left hand side. You can do lots of different things. You can change the icon, so you can go ahead and click here and upload your own icon here. You can like upload a custom icon. You can see there's like some icons in here, and we can also click on the icon library. So we click on icon library, you can see all the default icons are here. So I might select like the right arrow, for example, and click insert. Now you can see there's a little right arrow pointing in this direction. So this is how we go ahead and update the button and the actual text itself. Now if you want to change the color or change some information, we can go ahead and click on style here. So let's click on style, and you've got the typography here. So when you click this little icon here, you can change the font style. So you can change it to a different font style here, and you can also set the text color. So we may want to change the text color. So let's say we click here, we can go ahead and change it to a different text. We can make it red or blue or whatever sort of color we want. Maybe I'll make it like quite a dark gray color, like this, for example. So go ahead and play around with the different options. You can change the actual button color here, for example. You can change it to a darker color or a lighter color, however you want to manipulate it. Just go ahead and play around with the settings. It's not that difficult to understand, right? You can add borders here. You can add like dotted borders. You can have no borders. You can set the border radius as well. So if you don't want it to be so rounded, you can drag these and manipulate the border radius as well. You can do lots of different stuff. You can add shadows and lots of different useful options in here, right? So we set this to like a very low number, like 0. You can see it doesn't have rounded edges anymore. If we set it to something like 30, then it will have quite large rounded edges. So we set it to something like 20, which is similar to what it was before. So go ahead and click the update button, and just wait for this to save the content. And you can go ahead and click the preview button here, preview changes. And when we click that, you can see now it says Contact Us when we roll over it, and if we click it, it takes us to the Contact Us page. Okay, let's go ahead and close down this page. So we're on this contact page, we don't need it anymore. Let's close this and it will take us back into the editor. Now I want to show you how you can edit the image here. So when we click on the image, it gives us an option to choose an image. And if we click on there, and if we look at the image carefully, we can see these post-it notes in the background. So when we click on here, if we scroll down, this image has been selected here. And what we need to make note of is the size. It's 539 pixels by 539 pixels. So when we add images to the website, we need to make sure that we resize images. If we just randomly add images to our website at different resolutions, it can take a long time for the web page to load, especially if you take them on your phone. So your phone is going to take quite high resolution images. We need to make sure that we resize the images before we add them. So let's go ahead and show an example of adding an image or replacing this one, right? I'm going to close this for a second. We know that it's 539 by 539 pixels. So I'm going to do this in Photoshop, but you can use Canva, you can use GIMP software. Anything where you can change the size of an image should be suitable. So let's go ahead and open up Photoshop, and we're going to create a new file, and that file will be 539 by 539 pixels, and it's going to be set at 72 dpi, right, for web. And we'll click create. So we've got a blank canvas now. This is the size of the image that we want to target. Now we need to go and find an image. At the beginning of this video, I said that I was going to show you some websites where you can download images for free that are not copyrighted. So we can go to this website here. It's called Unsplash. So this is a very popular website to download images for free. You can download pretty much any image here for free from Unsplash. You can see there's lots of different options. You can go to Pexels website as well, and Pexels has videos and pictures. You can download lots and lots of pictures from here as well, and you can also go to Pixabay, right? So these are three main websites where you can download images for free. Stunning free images, royalty stock, right? So they're all for free on these three particular websites. So let's have a look at Unsplash. I'm going to type in a keyword. So I'm going to type in web design, that particular keyword. You can see there's lots of different pictures here for website design, right? Because that's what I do as a business. So it'd be nice to kind of have something related to website design there. Okay, so I'm going to quickly find something that I like. Let's maybe something like this picture at the top wasn't too bad, like this one here, for example, right? Because you can see a guy like working on websites and stuff. So I'm going to click on that picture and I'm going to click free download here. You can click on the drop down and select different sizes, but we're going to just click free download or download free here, and it's going to download the image. I've actually done it twice, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to drag this to one side, and I'm just going to minimize this and open up this folder on my desktop. And normally when we create folders or we're building website projects, it will be worth creating a little folder in here. Let's just create a folder and let's just call it website images. And then inside that folder, we'll create another subfolder and we'll create one for the homepage, because we're going to add this to the homepage, right? So all the homepage images can belong in this one folder. Let's drag and drop this image into here. And we can see it's 1.8 megabytes, which is quite a large file size. So you don't want to just go and drag and drop this into WordPress. It's going to be quite a large file size. So that's not a sensible way to do it. So what we do is we'll minimize the web browser. Let's just get Photoshop open again. Here's Photoshop. And we're just going to drag and drop this into Photoshop, this image. So just wait a few seconds for it to load up. And here's the image in here, and you can see there's white gap at the top and the bottom. I'm just going to click this little tick icon here, and I'm going to click on the move tool, click on the picture. I'm going to hold down the control key, not the control key, it's the Alt key on my keyboard, and left click. I'm just going to drag this picture out to maybe somewhere around here. In fact, I might just drag it out so it kind of shows maybe a bit of the person's face, possibly we'll see a bit of that. And the picture here, something like this. Just make sure there's no white gaps around the edges, yeah, something like this. Then I want to go to File, Export, Export as, this option here, which is Alt, Shift, Control and W. That's the shortcut, click it. And then we're going to set it as JPEG, and we're going to set the quality to 6, not all the way up to 7. We're going to set it at, you can even set it at like 5, right? We want to minimize the file size. So at 6 quality, it's going to be 96 kilobytes, and at 5 quality, it's still going to look pretty good, and it's only going to be 59 kilobytes. So that's kind of our good target size. Let's just click the export button, and we'll go to this PC. Let's go to my desktop, and we'll go to this folder here. Here's website images, here's homepage, and we need to give it a sensible name, because right now it's called 𝗵𝗶𝗀 create blah blah blah. This file name is not very useful, so we're gonna just call this file London Web Designers, right, -01. We're gonna save it, and then we can minimize Photoshop. And inside this folder, if I refresh it, we've got two pictures. We've got one that we're going to add to the website, and this is the one that we downloaded. So normally inside here, I'll create another folder and call it done, and drag and drop that picture in here. Now we've just got the one that we want to upload to. In fact, let's undo that. We want to drag this one into here, yeah? And then we've got the one image that we want to upload to our website. Let's open up the web browser again. So let's just go to the website, and we'll open this up. We can go and download more images. I'm just going to show you one example. We'll go back to Elementor here. We can close down all of these tabs, go and experiment, find nice pictures. We'll click on this picture here, click here, and we can just drag and drop that file, that image. So let's drag and drop that into here, and as default, it's going to load into the top. It says London Web Designers missing a temporary folder. Let me just dismiss this error. Let's just see. Let's click upload file here, and let's try and drag it here. Let's see what happens. It should be fine. Let's drag it here. It's still saying it's an error, so let's just refresh this, reload this folder. can drag and drop it. Now it's fine. Yeah, I just have to refresh the folder, and then we should always give our file a good alt text. So I'm going to call it London Web Designers, right? So the file name is something good because it's optimized for search engines. It's about London Web Designers, and then the alt tag is also about London Web Designers. That's good for search engine optimization. We're going to click Insert Media, and now we can see that picture has been inserted there. And then you can go ahead and manipulate it. You can change the size. You can set the thumbnail size here for which type of image you want to use. Like you can use like medium and so forth, right? You can just manipulate them here. I'm just going to click full because it's pretty much the size that we want it to be. You can click on style. You can change like the widths and stuff like this. You can just manipulate the widths and make it a bit bigger or make it a bit smaller. It's up to you. You can press Ctrl Z to undo that, and you can change the max width here as well. So what is going to be the maximum width that this can sit at? You can change that as well, and you can change the height and stuff like this. You can manipulate the image using these handles, right? As you can see, we can squeeze it and shrink it. You're really manipulating the shape, this pattern shape here, yeah? And you can do lots of other things. You can set the opacity if you want it to be faded. You can do all different things. You can add a border around it if you want to add a border. You can do lots of different things in here. I'll leave you to go and experiment. You can click on advanced and you can manipulate some of the options in here, like the margins if you want to set certain margins. Right now it's set at -50. If we drag it, then it will go lower, or we can drag it and it can go higher. This helps us to manipulate where it's positioned on the page. I'm going to just do control, let's just in fact set it back to something where it was roughly around here. Around 48, it was like -48. You can go and play around and experiment with the image here. Let's just go back to style and opacity. Let's just set this to 1, leave that at 1, and then in advanced we can go to motion effects, or we can do, let's see, let's just close this, motion effects. You can play around with these motion effects. You should really read up on a bit of the documentation. You can transform it as well, change it and rotate it and do all sorts of stuff within Elementor. It's very intuitive software, but there's lots of options for you to go and experiment with. I'm going to go ahead and click back on the canvas. Let's just go back to content, click on here, and click the update button. And we just wait a few seconds for it to update. Then we can go ahead and click on the preview changes here, and we can see our new images here, right? The different image, one that we manipulated. So now you know how to change the text. You know how to change the button color, where the button links to. You can change the pictures. You can apply that same logic for the background. You can change all of these pictures. You can change these little icons. You can change all of the text. So you have a lot of the knowledge that you need in order to update this website. And you can apply that same logic now to the About Us page. So the About Us page has a text here. You can change that. You can change the pictures, change all of the text, change the titles, add new content. You could add a video, change all of the relevant information. You have the skills and the knowledge to do that yourself now, and that applies to all of these different pages. You could go and create icons. So imagine these little icons here, or these little logos. You know how to sensibly resize an icon. You can change its color in Photoshop or any sort of software that you want, change all of the pictures, change all of the text, and you're good to go. So you can go through each page and start updating all of the content that you need to do. Let's go back to the home page. In fact, we will go back to the home page for the moment. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to change the little site icon here. So as default, it's got the Elementor icon here. So we want to change that little icon in the web browser up here in the tab to our own custom icon. To do that, click on Customize, and then go to the site identity. So at default, you've got site name here is DCP Web Tech, right? So when we roll over this, we can see it says DCP Web Tech, but it says just another Elementor cloud website. We don't want that, so we're going to delete this text here, this tagline, get rid of it, and we're going to add a site icon. It tells us it needs to be 512 by 512 pixels, and we can add the site icon here. Let's minimize this. I've already downloaded a little icon in a SVG format, right? And I'm going to go ahead and open up Photoshop, and we've still got the original image here, but we're going to create a new one at 512 by 512 at 72 dpi. Let's click create, and we're going to drag and drop this little icon in here. It's like a little web icon, right? And I'm going to click on the background here, unlock it, select it, and hit the delete key because I want a transparent background. and I'm going to hold down the Alt key. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so it doesn't sit too close to the edges. Just want to leave a little bit of a gap around the edge here, and now it's got a transparent background, and it's just this one single little icon image. I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to the Export, and I'm going to click Export As, but this time I'm going to select PNG file, PNG, and I'm going to enable transparency, click Export, and then I'm just going to type in here, let's just go back to website images, where are we, website. I'm going to click on this logo folder I created. I'm going to type in ICO for the name, -01, ICO-01. It's going to be a PNG file. Let's save this. And now we've got this little icon file that we can upload. So let's go back to our website. Let's go back to our website, and we're going to click site icon. And you can see I've already uploaded the icon once already. I've actually did it twice. Let's just click these and delete them. We don't really need them. Let's just delete this one as well. And let's just go to upload file here, and we can take this icon and we can just drag and drop it into here. It should upload. Let's just drag and drop it. You can see it's uploaded, and then we can just type in here for the alt text ICO, right? And then click select. Now you can see we've got a little custom icon up here, which is what we want, and we've got rid of this tagline. We don't really want that, so we just click publish, and then we can go ahead and close this. And now we've got a little custom icon up here. So when it loads, it will preload with our little custom icon. And that's nice for when you're bookmarking anything on your web browser. It will show your little icon rather than the Elementor one. Okay, in this next video, I want to show you how to add your logo here. So speak to your designer, speak to your web developer, and ask them to send you a transparent PNG file of your logo, because that way it will sit better on this blue background. I'm going to click customize here, and I'm going to go to site identity here, and then I'm going to click select logo. When I click select logo, I've already created a basic logo here. You can see that it's just a transparent PNG file with the little icon and then DCP web tech written there. So I'm going to drag that into WordPress here, and it will upload the file. And you can see that the file is now sitting here, and I'm just going to delete this and just put in DCP web tech logo, and I'm going to click select. It's going to ask me if I want to crop the image. I don't want to crop it, so I'm going to click skip cropping, and then I'm going to go ahead and click the publish button. Now you can see the little logo here. Click publish, and we can go ahead and close this, and now we've got our logo there. So far we've learned quite a bit, right? We've learned how to manipulate the text, change the button, change the link to the button, change pictures, so we can change all of the content on the website. We've added the site icon, and we've also added our logo. Okay, so on this website, as the starter kit, we have various pages like home, about, services, with the social media here, yeah, and then we have like clients, contact us. But what if we want to create a new page? So to create a new page, we're going to go over to new, and we're going to click on page here. And there's already one for social media, so I want to create one for website design. So I'm going to give it a title here, type in the title, and I'm going to click save draft here. Let's go ahead and click the edit with Elementor button here, and that will allow us to go and build a page for website design. Now, there's basically two ways to build pages with Elementor. You can either start drag and dropping all of these elements into your page and start building the structure of your page, but there's a quicker way to do that as well. And you can go ahead and click on the add template. So when you click there, you'll see all the different site layout and site pages listed here. Right, and because we're using the Pro version, we get access to the Pro tools as well, the Pro templates. If we scroll down the page, we should find pages that are similar to the style and design that we've already selected. So here you can see digital agency. These are the digital agency ones. These are the ones that we're working with right now. So you've got the about us, you've got the services page, you've got the home page here, and you've got social media here, the social media service page. You've got a few other ones down here as well. So I want to select this social media page. So when I click on it, it's talking about social media and all the different things about social media, but we could take this template or this page and we could use it to manipulate and create a new page out of it for website design. So let's go ahead and click insert, and when we insert this page, it's going to speak a lot about social media, but we want it to speak about website design, right? We don't really want this text here. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a moment, but let's go ahead and click on social media here, and we can just go ahead and simply type in website design, and then we can type some other sort of text underneath here. We can just type in like let's say press web developer, something like this. Then we can scroll down here. It's talking about learning more about social media. Maybe we can get rid of this text here. Learn more about our website design services. And you can go ahead and click on a picture. You can click on that picture there. We'll select the one that we uploaded. Let's see, where is it? Let's scroll this one here, for example, and we click insert media. We can change the picture, right? You can upload a different one as well. You can change all of the different text in here, the titles, change this little bar here. You can click on it. It says Facebook here, so you might put in something like WordPress here. Then on the next one you might type in something different, right? These are the different platforms you might use, so, or the different technologies. So like we can type in PHP here, for example, PHP. We might type in something like 𝗦𝘁𝗲𝗀. These are just examples of how you can manipulate the page. It's written YouTube here. We might type in something like JavaScript, right? So you see, we can quickly manipulate the content on the page, but we've fundamentally got the same structure as what we had for the social media page that we had previously. So we click services and middle mouse click social media here. If we middle mouse click on it, we can open that in a new tab. It says social media here, but our new page would say website design, right? And then here it says learn more about social media strategies. Here it says learn more about our website design services. We've got a different picture. Here you've got all the different sort of sliding text here, or the counters here. You can see it's a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our one will say like WordPress, PHP, and MySQL. So you can see you quickly manipulate the content. One problem we have here, let's just go ahead and click the publish button here quickly. Let's just click publish. It's showing an error here, but let's just try and save it as a draft for a second. Publish, let's see. Yeah, that's it, it's been saved. And we don't want this text here, website design, we don't want that. So let's go ahead and click on site settings, and inside the default page layout we're going to set it to Elementor full width, and then click update. And if we go back to this little button here, preview changes, click it, we can see that we've got rid of that text there, that website design text. So we can actually close down the editor now, close it down for a second. And now we've got a page about website design, and it's very similar to the social media page here, right? But if we bounce between them, if we scroll to the top, we can see that this one talks about website design, whereas this one talks about social media, and you've got your subtext, and you've got all the other good stuff in here. So you can quickly manipulate a page or make a copy of an existing template that was really for social media and then repurpose it for website design. So that's how we can quickly create a page. What happens if we want to now add that website design in the drop down menu? Let's show you how to do that. Okay, so to add website design as a service in the drop down menu, we're going to go to the customizer here, customize, and then we're going to go to menus. So just select menu here, and then we'll click on this top menu, and you can see you've got home, about, services, and then this social media is indented, right? Then you've got clients and you've got contact us. So let's add an item, and we're going to click on website design. Now as default, it's going to add it to the bottom right down here. We don't want that, so we're going to drag it so that it sits underneath social media, or we can sit above it. Let's say that maybe that's our main service and then social media is our secondary service. We'll click publish, and then we'll close down this customizer, and now in the drop down you've got website design and you've got social media here separated, right? The reason why it's blue is because we're actually on the website design page. So we click website design, you'll see that it will be highlighted blue. If we click social media, then that one is highlighted blue and this one is highlighted black, right? Like this. So whichever page, with specific page we're on, it's going to highlight in the drop down depending on which one we selected. Okay, let's quickly look at the contact page. And when we click on the contact page, we've got the contact information. We already know how to edit that, and we've got the text down here. We already know how to edit that. But if we want to add a few extra fields to the contact form itself, we can go ahead and click on edit with Elementor at the top here when we're on the contact page itself, and we'll see the form down here. If we click on this little icon, edit form, we'll see all of the fields. We've got full name, phone number, email, and write to us. And what if we want to add our services, maybe some checkboxes for services? Let's go ahead and click add item. And in this drop down menu, I'm going to go ahead and select HTML first, HTML. And in the label, I'm going to say select a service. Well, let's do select services, right? And we'll copy that text and paste it here. So this becomes like a label. So let's just click here and we'll drag that above right to us. So now it says select services. Now we're going to, in fact, let's click on there one more time. We'll put two little dots here, like a colon like this, right? So it's got two little dots here. And then we can go ahead and click add item. And in the drop down, this time we'll select checkbox. And in the checkbox, we're going to write social media. We'll copy that and paste it here. And then we've got social media written here. And then we're going to add one more. In fact, what you can do, we can delete that and we can click the duplicate button here. Click duplicate and it will make a copy of social media below. We can click that one. It saves having to select the checkbox option there. We can type in website design. We can copy that and paste that into here. And then we're going to take these two and drag them up above right to us. Now we've got select a service and they can check these boxes here. Now sometimes you may want certain things to be required fields. So if we click on full name, we can tick this option here to make it a required field, so they have to fill it in. And phone numbers are a required field, and for example email addresses, and sometimes you don't want them to be required and sometimes you do. So things like social media, we may not want that to be required field, or website design. We may just, someone just may want to make an inquiry, and you can list all the different services in your drop down and then list them in here in the contact form itself. If you scroll down a little bit further, you've got quite a few different options in here. You can go and experiment with the buttons and change the button style, and do certain actions after the form has been submitted, what happens to the particular the form and the data. But for now, we really want to click on email. So in email, when you registered your account with the cloud service, you would have typed in an email address, and as default all the emails will go to that particular email address. So you can leave it like that, or you can go and set up the domain. So I'm going to show you how to set up the domain. And the cloud service doesn't provide email services at present. So Elementor Cloud doesn't provide any email services. So if you want to have emails, you have to set them up elsewhere. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well if you want a custom email with your custom domain. But you just put the relevant email address here and the form will send the data to that particular email address. So we're going to go ahead and click update. And then we can go ahead and click preview, and you can see the details are pretty much the same, but we've got these extra options in here to select the service for the customer. If we try and click send, it's going to ask us to fill in these fields, right, because they're required fields. Okay, so at present your website, or this website, is actually under construction, right? So no one can really see it on the internet. So if I click on the home page here, for example, and copy this URL, copy it, and if I go to the Firefox web browser, somewhere where I'm not logged in already, a different web browser, and hit enter, when we go to that URL, we are going to change this to our own custom URL. But when we go there, it's asking us to show a little password, right? Type in a password. So let's imagine if you're working with I don't know, your business partner or something, and you're building this website, but you don't want anyone else on the internet to see it apart from you and your business partner. So if you just want to demo the website to someone, you can minimize this Firefox. We're back to our normal web browser. You can log into your main Elementor website control panel, right? So this is where you log in and you can see all your websites that have been built here. And we're going to go ahead and click on this site lock is on. When you click on that, you can click change settings. And you can scroll down, you can put a pin code in here, and whatever pin code you put in here will be used to view the website. You can click on the little eye icon and it says 2415. 2415. So if we go back to this website and type in 2415, right, we can just show it. We can see 2415 and click continue. And just click don't save. Now we can actually see the website without having to log into it. So if you want to show this to your business partner, you want to show it to some staff members before you launch the website, you can just give them the URL and that little pin code, and then they can go through and flick through and maybe say, well, we need to change that logo, we're not working with that company, or whatever it might be. You can send it to them and then they can go and check out the website, and yeah, you're good to go. So that's how you use the little pin code. And you can change that, you can select it and change it to a different pin code, you can reset it. You can click it and copy it and email it to someone as well. Okay, in this next step, I want to register a custom domain. So we spoke about that briefly at the beginning of this tutorial. So I'm going to open up a new tab and type in 𝗵𝗁𝗍𝗍.com. I'll put a link to this website in the YouTube description so you can easily access it. So just click on that link and you'll get to 𝗵𝗁𝗍𝗍.com. And we want to look for a domain. So if we want to look for a domain, I want it to be whatever I've added to the website. So it's called WebTech. right? That was the website, and I'm going to type in 𝗬𝗁tech.com, and in fact let's just type in 𝗬tech on its own and click search, and we can see different versions of the domain. So there should be a .com, it's available, and there should be a .co.uk, I believe, if we can find it. Let's see, let's in fact type in 𝗬tech.co.uk. that one's 569. Let's see what .co.uk, let's see if it's available as well. So that's also 569. It doesn't really matter which one we register, it's only just as a sample, so I think I'll just go ahead and register the .com. So let's click add to cart, and we'll go to the checkout here, checkout. And you can see the domains here, and we can leave all these options. Like domain privacy is fine, it's free forever, we don't need premium DNS, we don't need any of this other stuff. All we want is just the domain name. So we're going to click confirm order, and it's going to ask me to log in, so I'm just going to log into here, and then we need to it's going to send me a little email now just with a verification code. This is a little security procedure, so I'm just going to grab that verification code. Okay, let's go ahead and type in that verification code. It's 5461114, and we'll click submit. And now it's asking me to complete the payment, right? So let's just check it. It's like around £5.48. I'm going to use my PayPal account to pay for this. Let's go to PayPal, and it's going to ask me for my password. If I can remember it, that will be good. I'm pretty sure I remember it. And then we need to use the authenticator to authenticate this transaction. And it's costing £6.09, right? So it's slightly more than what it says on the website, but the transaction fees and PayPal and whatever is slightly higher, but that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and then it should process the order, and then that domain name will be in my user account. So we're going to go and check that. So it says what's next, your order has been completed, you have your purchase. We can go ahead and click on the dashboard here, and we should see that domain name 𝗬tech here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on manage, so we need to do some settings in here in order to get this domain working on the website itself. Okay, so after you click the manage button, you should see the advanced DNS options here. And inside advanced DNS, there's going to be two records, a CNAME record and a URL redirect. We need to change these in order to point the domain name correctly to Elementor website. So if we go back to the Elementor main control panel, where you can see in here, and if we just go back to websites, just to show you quickly, you're going to go ahead and click on this little icon, or you're going to in fact just click on manage this website, click here, and then you'll see there's an option here to connect my domain. Now when you click on this, there's an option here to say show me, and when you click show me, it will open a new tab, and you can scroll down and you can click on Namecheap. So you GoDaddy, Google, Namecheap, Bluehost, Hover. So there's 4 different options in here that you can select. We're going to select Namecheap because that's what we're using, and when we click on that, it gives you some instructions. I'm going to go through these instructions quickly just to show you how to set up and point the domain name correctly, right? So we're at this step here, really at this step, and what we want to do is add an A record. So in the first section here, it's talking about adding an A record. So it's navigate to type, click on the host name and set the @ here, and then add the value of the IP address. So let's just do that quickly on Namecheap, but we need to first go to Elementor website here and copy the A record IP address here, copy this IP address. Then we can go over to the advanced settings on Namecheap here in the advanced DNS, and this is the @ record here, right? Because it says you need to do this for the @ record here. This is the A record, but it's actually set slightly incorrect on Namecheap. We need to go to this drop down menu and select A record here. So A record, this is the @ and then we need to put in the IP address here, and then tick this option to confirm it. So that's the first bit done, and that will now point the main domain to the Elementor website. But we also need to add a CNAME. So when we scroll down here, it says add a new record. The type, it should be CNAME. So if we go back to the Namecheap website, we're going to add a new record. It's telling us that the type needs to be CNAME, right? So we select CNAME here, right? Add record, select CNAME here. And then it's telling us the host needs to be www. So in here we'll put in the www, and then the target needs to be the value from Elementor website here. So this is the CNAME, this is the value we need to copy. So we copy this one, go back to here, and then we'll click here, paste it, and then we'll click this option to accept it. Right, so we've done the 2 records that we need. If we go back to the Elementor website and then click the next button, and then we need to type the domain name in here. So we can just simply copy this here, 𝗕𝗂𝗶𝗹𝗃, and we can paste it in here, make sure there's no spaces and stuff, and we've done everything that we need to do. So we'll go ahead and click connect to my domain. So it says it can take up to 48 hours for the DNS to propagate, then your site will get an SSL certificate. When your domain is ready, we'll notify you by email. By the way, the site is locked. At present, it's still locked, right? Because we don't want anyone to see the website until the domain is set up properly and everything is running correctly. So this might take a few hours to happen. It might take a few minutes. It's really a bit unpredictable, DNS propagation, but 9 times out of 10, it should happen within, you know, a first few hours once you've set this all up. So I'm going to go ahead and click the done button, and now you can see that the settings are here have been updated. Okay, inside the Elementor control panel, after you've added your domain name, you'll see that you've got some options here. It's telling you that the URL has been added, the DNS is being checked, or it's in process of being checking, and then it's going to issue an SSL certificate, which is important, and then it will mark the domain as being ready. So that can take a little bit of time, and every so often it's going to refresh automatically, or you can click this refresh button to refresh it to see what status it is. But while we're waiting for the DNS to update, we can also go back to the Namecheap website. And remember, I was saying that Elementor doesn't provide email services. So Namecheap also provides email services. So if you click on email here, and if you scroll down, you can see that you can get email addresses pretty cheap, right? Like 74p a month. You know, it's only like £8.78 a year, and it's like 1 mailbox, 5 gig space, 2 gig for transfers, and then like for storing files, or 2 gig up to 2 gig transfer of files, and it's got anti-spam protection. Or you can go to the next level where you get 3 mailboxes included, 30 gigs of email space, and so forth. So I would say like this is probably a good option for a small business. Maybe, you know, you want to like have 5 email boxes and then 75 gig for each email and so forth. 75 gig is quite a lot of space for email accounts, but it's up to you. So you can split this. I think it will be like 10 gig per email account, right? Between the 3 of them, 30 gig for emails. So it's entirely your choice which one you select. So just go ahead and click the get mail, or you can click on free trial, which is a bit cheeky, right? But click on free trial here, and then you can go ahead and set up the emails. You can get it free for 2 months. So don't go bill yearly, click on free trial, and then it says $0 for 2 months, and you can get all of that email space and all of the services included, free email accounts. Just click get free, and you can have that free for 2 months. You don't even pay for the first 2 months, right? It's just free. So that's even a better option. So you can select between the 3. Just click on bill yearly just to see what the prices are. So up to £2.71 per month, but that's for 5 email accounts, right? 5 email accounts. It's a very, very cost-effective way of setting up email. You can set it up on SMTP as well, so you can, you know, set it up on your phone, or you can access it via webmail as well. So this is definitely a good, cost-effective, cheap option for setting up business emails. Then you can have an info@yourdomainname.com. So my email address would be something like info@𝗕𝗂𝗫𝗃.com. So I'm not really going to set up email addresses here for this particular demonstration website, because I'm not really going to use this domain for anything. This was just purchased for the purpose of demonstrating this particular project. But go ahead and set up email accounts here and just follow the basic online instructions, and once you're completed, it should set up all of the DNS records for you, set up all of the MX records for you automatically, so all your email accounts will start working. And if you remember, on the Elementor website, when we went to the contact us page, after you set up your email address, edit it with Elementor, click on the form here, and then scroll down to the email section and put your new email address in here. It will be info@𝗕𝗂𝗫𝗃.com if I were to set up email services with Namecheap, right? So remember to do that. That way, when anyone sends a form, submits a form, it will go to the right email account. It will go to your business email account. Okay. Okay, let's quickly pop back to the main Elementor website control panel, and now we can see our domain is fully propagated. It took about 10 minutes for me, but depending on where you are on the planet, where you register the domain, it might take some more time, may take less time. That's why it says up to 48 hours, right? It can take some time, but luckily it's only taken about 10 minutes for me to get the DNS to propagate, and this all happens automatically after you set your settings in the 𝗕𝗓𝗁 control panel, right? So you can see that we've actually got 3 different domains here, so that's a bit confusing, but the primary domain, the main domain, is actually dcpwebtech.com. so this domain here, the default domain, and the ones with the W's will redirect to this domain, so both of these will automatically redirect to this primary domain. Now right now, if we were to copy this domain, let's copy it, and we open up a new web browser, and we go and paste this in, we can still see we've got this almost like an under construction, or the website is currently hidden right now, right? So we can still put in the code, so we can go back to the control panel, copy this code, and then we can paste it in here, and we can view the website. So you can still send that to someone, but you'll notice now it's using the main domain. Can you see? Our new domain. So it's using a custom domain, which is what we want. So that's all working correctly. And if we click on the little icon here, we can see that we've got an SSL certificate running on the website. So everything is set up correctly, right? The SSL certificate is actually this option here, is to show the SSL certificate. So we click here, and we can click more information, and we've got an SSL all up and running here, which is good. Now, if we were to close down the web browser, this Firefox, and we're back to our control panel here, here's the site lock, and we want to turn it off. So when you're ready to make your website go live, you want to turn this off. And it says unlocking the site means that visitors and search engines can see your site. So we're going to click unlock, and we'll be patient for a few seconds, and it's going to unlock the website. Now we can go directly to the website. So if we copy this URL again, one more time, copy it. And if we go to, let's say, Firefox again, and we paste in the domain, and we click enter, it's going to go straight to the website and not ask us for the password. If we put in the www. So if someone ever types in something like www.dcpwebtech.com and hit enter, it's going to automatically redirect to our non-www URL. Can you see the W's are missing now, right? So it's called a redirection. And the same logic will happen if we go back to the control panel, and let's say you gave someone this URL, one of your clients or one of your staff members, you gave them this default URL. If we go back to the web browser and paste that one in, it's going to redirect to our primary domain, our normal domain. So they all get redirected to this root domain, which is the domain without the wwws. And that's quite common practice, to have a website address without the W's there, right? So you can click on About Us, you can see that's working. Click on Website Design, we've got that page working. Click on Clients, that's working. Click on Contact Us, everything seems to be working perfectly well. So I'm going to go back and minimize this, and I'm going to turn back on the site lock and click site lock, because I don't really want this website to be live on the public. It's not really a real project, it's just a demonstration website to get you up and running and understand what's going. Now you also notice, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a backup here, right? There's a backup here. And let's say if you did some updates to your website yesterday, and then you came back and you thought about it, and you think, okay, actually those websites I did the update yesterday, I don't really want them. So you can go ahead and click the restore button, and you'll see many backups in here, different backup versions. You can click create new backup here, and you can create a backup before you upgrade your plugins or change something in WordPress. You can create a full backup before you go and do those processes, in case you want to restore it at a later date. You can go ahead and just click the restore button and restore a copy of your WordPress website. Or you can even export it and import it into another platform if you choose to do so. Okay, so let's just do a quick summary of all the things that we've learned today. I'm just going to go ahead and click here and click exit to dashboard, and I'm going to click on the DCP WebTech here so we can see the website. Let's just go back to dashboard here, and then we'll click visit site. So we can see the website up and running here. Don't worry about this SSL, this is just something in my browser. I need to just basically do a little fix in the browser, but the SSL is actually working correctly. But if we see, we've learned how to manipulate images, we learned how to change content, the written content. We've got the About Us page. We didn't really make any edits on this page, but using the knowledge and skills that you've learned today, you should be able to change all of these pictures, change all of the text and all the information. We added another navigation item in here. We learned how to crop images and add our logo and add the little site icon here as well. So we learned quite a lot of things. We also learned how to update the contact page and change the fields here. We even learned how to create a new domain or register a new domain here, and how to point that to the Elementor cloud platform, and also showed you that you can actually set up email services if you choose to do so directly in Namecheap for quite an affordable cost. In fact, you can select free trial and have it there for 2 months for free, right? Free emails for 2 months can't be a bad option. So let's go ahead and minimize this web browser. We'll close down this folder. That's the end of this tutorial. It's quite a beginner tutorial. To be honest, this tutorial could have been a lot longer, but I wanted to get you up to scratch, just give you a basic understanding of how to create WordPress websites using the Elementor cloud platform. It's definitely one of the most affordable platforms out there. It's very robust. It seems to work pretty well. So I think this is a good option if you choose to build a WordPress website for your business. This could be a good option for you. Okay, that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you find it useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next DCP Web tutorial.